Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp Ends. I have something exciting to share with you. That's the EZE 2.0 from Alliance Designs and Ray Laconico. It is an integral, which means it's made out of one solid piece of titanium. So there's no two-side scales and backspacers or anything like that, which means that this was milled out and very precisely, and it carries a lot more risk to the company making it, because if anything goes wrong, they just basically have to throw away a chunk of titanium. But if your engineering standards are up to scratch, then you're going to be absolutely fine. The OEM is going to flash up above. I can't quite remember who it is, but they are really good at doing what they do. Ray Laconico is one of my favorite designers. If you follow the channel, you know that already. I've published a lot of stuff about him. This is a flipper, and the action on it is stellar. Absolutely awesome. And the grind on this is absolutely great. It's a hollow grind Tonto multi Tonto, right? And you'll notice that you've got belt marks going three different directions. So you've got the belt marks coming down here for the hollow grind. You've got different grind marks, belt sander here, and then the Tonto tip is different too. Because of the way that this is made as well on the grind, you'll see that the tip is actually very strong because it comes out here. There's a little bit of a swedge up here, but then it comes down to a point where the Tonto is, and then down to a very sharp tip. So no fear of the tip really breaking on you doing normal knife type things. The ergos on this are super basic and easy. You can have your full four-finger grip behind the flipper tab or right in front, which is how I usually hold it myself, because I've got really big meat paws. This is a frame lock, and the frame lock itself has an insert here, and that is great. Now, it's not drop shutting for me, and I usually, for these, if you guys know the channel, I usually do a disassembly. I've decided not to do a disassembly on this because I've never done a disassembly on a integral. And what will happen is if I loosen this up, this whole triangle here will be removed, and then I'll have access to the bearings and stuff. Having said that, I don't want to risk messing up how well this is done, so I'm not going to play with that. I am, however, going to, like I just did, play just a little bit with how tight it is on the bearings are, or the pivot is on here, because right before I started this, it wasn't drop shutting, and I want to see if I loosen it up a little bit, will it drop shut, and will I still have no blade play? So I'm just very carefully loosening up the pivot here and then seeing how, so that's more drop shutty there, which is increasing the action. Still no blade play, which is great. And now it's drop shutting a lot easier. Before I was having to really pull on or push down the blade. And now it's drop shutting better. And still no blade play. I believe that this is running on bearings, and that sound has changed now that I'm flipping it open too. Listen to it. Oof, that's a very satisfying sound, I gotta say. I like how certain knives sound when you are, when they are opening and shutting. And that ting right there sounds so satisfying. I have used this a lot, and it is very, very sharp. Like the way that they came sharp is just great. I overall like this knife a lot. Now, the EZE 2.0 comes with a couple of different inlays. They have a Zircotai one and a couple other ones. I got the micarta inlay. They also do a speed hole version, which has 3 large holes in here, and you can see the blade in there. I'm not a big speed hole guy, so I didn't get that one. The clip fits really nicely in there, and this is kind of like Ray's standard type design for knives. You've got, sometimes he has a slot in them for the pocket clip, but in general they are usually solid like this, which is a very easy to use type. And this is milled titanium, obviously, so you've got another milled piece in there that's really great. This will push button or it will light switch, and it just comes flying out of there. I've never misdeployed this knife. It locks really nicely. The lockup on this is very good. It's at about 25%, which is what you want in general for that. There is no overstop protection on this, which is a little scary on a frame lock because you're not going to be able to replace it. But by the same token, I don't know what kind of person is unlocking this and pushing it way over to get it, like, as soon as it gets over, that's all you need. So I'm not really worried about that. It does have an insert here for the face, a steel insert for the face for the lockup. So in theory, I'd be able to replace that one day if I wanted to or needed to. The profile of the whole knife is very nice too, because look at this. I often like to look at the back of the handle of the knife to see exactly like what we're getting here as far as like the design and the geometry. You've got this line that comes down and then it just tails just a little bit at the end. And then here it's mirrored up here to give it a very nice looking design. Also, you'll notice that with the reverse tanto, you've got this line here, and then on the back, you've got the opposite line there, just making it overall very nice and sexy. And then, of course, you've got this line back down here of the inlay, mirroring what the knife is doing itself, which is great. It has some nice big jimping on the back here, which, you know, helps you lock in or whatever, but it's more of an aesthetic look than anything, and I don't mind it at all. There's no lanyard hole. You don't need a lanyard hole on an integral, I don't think. And overall, it just feels really nice. The fit and finish on this are just absolutely top notch. Ray usually has his name somewhere on the spine here, and it doesn't say here. Let's see if we can get that focused. And you just have the one little Alliance symbol right there, and that's it. It doesn't even say the knife steel. The knife steel on this is Elmax, which is a great knife steel for a knife and will stay sharp for a long time. Stainless, obviously. Just a great all-around knife steel to use on a design like this, and I really appreciate that. I also like the collar here and how this collar insert here that you get access to the bearings and everything else matches the same kind of color you have back here on the clip, and then that's very nicely mirrored also with the color you get with the micarta inlay. These are different types of colors, and if you go on the website, which there'll be a link down below for it, you'll see that it has different kind of color configurations as well. So if this isn't your color or John, that's absolutely fine. As far as like an integral goes, I think this is a pretty good value for the money. You've got a nice sharpening choil too. Everything here is very well rounded. All the edges are cut down nicely, so there's nothing sharp here when you're holding down on it really hard. Nothing is very sharp or anything, and it's just the right size for a full hand. A smaller, this isn't a small knife, but it's not necessarily a big knife either. It kind of hits above, I think, its weight class, if you will. And I really just love the way that the blade itself looks. Like, it just looks really cool. It catches the light really nicely. And overall, it's just a great knife to pull out and use. So I think this is a great knife. I obviously love Ray Laconico anyways, and you know, I'm kind of a completionist about his design, so I'm really glad I picked this guy up. I think they're still available as of the filming of this video, so if you're interested, I definitely say check it out. However, you know, this is an easy pass for a lot of people, I think, and I totally get that. For me, myself, I think that this is a great knife choice and a great knife design, and it will stay in my pocket a lot. The action on it is great. It looks great. I like the hollow grind. I really like hollow grinds in general, but this one in particular is phenomenal. I like the finish, the fit, everything about this. So that's my short review of this Alliance Design EZE 2.0. If you like this content, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. That certainly helps the channel. And I give a knife away every month. And if you want to get entered to win a knife, it costs about $3 a month. You can become a Patreon subscriber or support me down below by becoming a member of my YouTube channel as well. That is also a very valid choice. Thanks so much for joining me, guys, and I'll see you guys next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.